What is up, y'all? Back again with another off-season video because things keep getting crazier and crazier. Kawhi Leonard, once again, is a Toronto Raptor. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's still kind of surreal seeing that Shams tweet because even though there were several rumors and reports of Kawhi and his camp loving the idea of returning to Toronto and potentially retiring there, a return just seemed unfathomable to me. Not that it's bad for both parties, but I'm just like, is this potentially the right move for the Raptors? And how much are they willing to give up? And yeah, we found out how much they're willing to give up. Brandon Ingram, Mr. Grady, a 2027 first round pick swap, which I believe is correlated with the Clippers' own pick swap with OKC for this upcoming season. 2 unprotected firsts, one in 2031, the other in 2033, along with a couple of seconds. Boy, that is a steep price to pay. I will start with Toronto first, but I do want to say that I don't think they won this deal. However, I could see why they made it. And I first want to explain why I have a lot of potential concerns and flaws with this transaction. The major one being Kawhi just celebrated his 35th birthday. And while he's still a beast, he is just coming off of one of his best offensive seasons. He's also not really the most healthiest. Obviously, I mean, he's kind of like the poster boy for the discussion of injury concerns, load management, you name it. And while no doubt the fit is nice, which we'll definitely get to in a second, he's going to once again take on a heavy offensive workload. Which, yeah, I mean, he's supposed to do that, but it is definitely hypothetical that the Raptors are taking an insane risk on. Like, for the best case scenario to really happen, let's say 60 plus games. It's not impossible. In order for that to really come to fruition, you have to have so many hypotheticals go your way, go your favor. If I'm Mr. Webster, I have to take a deep, hard look into the Toronto medical staff. And now that I mention it, Toronto hasn't been the most healthiest team in recent memory. I mean, for this past season, they didn't have RJ for a long period of time. Jakob Poeltl just came off a kind of brutal back injury that lowered his trade value immensely. And for their playoff series against Cleveland, they didn't have IQ at all. So already this team is kind of getting labeled as injury prone, and then you're adding a 35-year-old Kawhi Leonard to the mix. Truly something to take note of, especially when we jump or fast forward several years later to the year 2030, let's say. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. That year doesn't even sound real. Anyways, by that point, if Toronto doesn't get it done, if they don't win the championship, you're already in a tough predicament because you don't have 2 of your next 3 picks to fall back on. It's not going to be the end of the world because Scottie is still in his prime, but the future of Kawhi Leonard, whether he's still playing around this time or not, he's reaching 40, essentially. This situation actually kind of reminds me of KD being traded to Houston. Not saying both teams are exactly the same, but when we look at Houston, pre-KD transaction, they were viewed as one of those teams with the brightest futures. Their core was so young. Then they essentially made their all-in move. So essentially, they turned what was a situation where people were eager to be patient and see what the potential was into an instant ultra-competitive mindset. Like, we have to go make major moves now. Like, we have to be a contender this instant. And I feel like Toronto is now in the same boat because their window just got a lot more limited. Kawhi's not getting any younger. His contract is kind of forcing our salary cap situation into a more uncomfortable position. If there's a chance to knock down the door and be the top team in the East, we have to do it now. Maybe I'm being overdramatic, but that's just the vibes I'm feeling. Now, on the flip side, for what they had to give up roster-wise, 10 out of 10. I mean, if you're Toronto, you would flip those 2 players every single time. They were already out the door anyways. Grady couldn't really crack the rotation consistently. And Brandon Ingram, while he did help them reach the postseason, we also saw that he got locked up by Dean Wade in most possessions. And yeah, the fit, oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Presumably, underneath the best hypothetical scenario that I just presented a while ago, even 50 or 60 games, that is the bar. If that's achieved, top 5 seed in the East in my opinion. I know there's Boston, New York, Miami just got Giannis, Indiana is looking to get back in contention, but it's not like Toronto lost a whole lot either. I mean, you're talking about an upgrade from BI? Kawhi is upgrading in almost all facets. Post-up, mid-range, driving. He has a lot more strength. His defense is still consistently solid even though he's not his past DPOY self. So yeah, offensively, defensively, you're definitely not going to lose anything. You still have a ton of valuable bench pieces in Jamal Shead, Jacoby Walter, Jamison Battle. Now that I'm thinking about it, they killed that 2024 draft. So many hidden gems. And speaking of hidden gems, Elijah Martin, if he doesn't experience any sophomore slump, he could be another diamond in the rough to watch out for. And obviously, we cannot forget the draft draft pick that is Allen Graves. I know people weren't really high on him when he was selected at the moment, but now, as we look at this current roster, I couldn't think of a more perfect fit, so the only concern we should look forward to is the center position. Look, Colin Murray Boyles, he is a beast. I mean, what he displayed in his rookie year, and the fact that he's only going to get better, that is scary. And he has had a lot of experience playing the small ball 5. He can definitely snag an offensive rebound, so I'm not saying that's the worst option in the world, but he does have a certain height disadvantage. While 2 out of the 3 times he may succeed as a small ball 5, there's always going to be that specific matchup that can give him trouble. We saw that Jarrett Allen pretty much had his best playoff performance in his career. Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns can certainly give problems as well. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you definitely have to start him, because now the lineup is IQ, RJ, Kawhi, Scotty, and CMB, but unless CMB magically grows another 2-3 inches, the Raptors are going to have to work out on some things. What about Jakob Poeltl? And I know he was coming off that back injury, but I mean, when he was starting against Cleveland, he kept getting cooked. So honestly, you would prefer if he came off the bench, but that's a lot of money to pay a bench player, and I'm not sure if his ego would allow him to take a bench role in stride. Who knows, there's still plenty of time left in this offseason, but if it's not Poeltl being the backup, you also have to leave it to Mogbo and Trace Jackson Davis. Also, there have been some, I guess, conversations, definitely not reports, but just some debate about whether Toronto should keep RJ Barrett. I know there are several rumors in the past where they were inclining on shopping him. However, I feel like now you have to keep him. I mean, already last season he proved he was dearly missed whenever he was unavailable, because we know guys like BI and Scotty can get to the rim, but not as much as RJ Barrett. Not saying he's the most efficient, but he can definitely get to there at will. And like I said, Kawhi is an upgrade from BI, so he can help with a ton of things. But if Kawhi's unavailable one game or Scotty's unavailable in a random night, not only do you miss a lot of shot selection, you also miss just a lot of presence inside. Also, he can now be the third option. He's not really forced to step up as the second option in most nights. And I know so much attention is going to go to Kawhi and Scotty now, so that's even more easy lanes to attack the rim opening up. Again, I understand why Toronto made this deal. I could see a Larry O'Brien on the way, but I can also see why the Clippers sold high. I love this for them. I mean, honestly, we were just talking about how previously this team had one of the worst futures ever. Like seriously, man, if you want a step-by-step guide on how to correctly sell high on your valuable players, this is it. This is it. I cannot think of a better example, other than ironically the SGA trade. Getting Keaton Walker from the Zubac trade? Mwah. You also got Benedict Mathurin, and chances are you can re-sign him if his market value doesn't go the way he anticipated. Getting Darius Garland, you draft Yannick Niederhauser, you re-sign Kobe Sanders to an extremely team-friendly deal, and now you have unprotected first from Toronto, a team where we don't know what the future is going to look like. And yeah, man, you still got 2 years left of Brandon Ingram to help you keep competitive, and the reason why I feel like being competitive is another plus is because, you know, your upcoming pick, or pick swap with OKC I should say, it could take a turn for the worst if you decide to rebuild immediately. So having Garland and Ingram lead you to a playing spot is not the lowest odds per se, but it's certainly not the highest. So, but hey, as long as you have a fun upcoming season, and OKC will continue to get around the 12 to 15 range, while you get the second most favorable because it's also connected to swapping with Toronto, that's 100% a win in my books. Yeah, this was just another crazy addition to this crazy offseason. I mean, we might be close to reaching 2019 levels of just wackiness. Because yeah, man, Kawhi, he's going to play with Scotty Barnes. Clippers actually have a bright future for once. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Clippers fans, Raptors fans, NBA fans, let me know what you guys think. There's just so much to enjoy about this, right? Even though I gave Toronto a lower grade, it's not like they completely lost out on the deal. I can see why they did this once again. But yeah, just comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.